Magneto will be the leader of the Mutants in Doomsday. After the event, we'll have a dark conversation there. Hello, Popular Consumer Society. We're back once again. This is the Doomsday Diary, where almost every day we're here updating this movie, which is only coming out at the end of next year, but it's already in the air. The Doomsday Diary, once again, with more updates for you. Now coming from Alex Perez from Cosmic Circus. Alex Perez says that Nito will be the leader of the Mutants and will even lead the Mutants directly from Genosha, that country, a refuge where mutants can live in peace, which we saw in the X-Men 97 animation. This concept will be present in Doomsday, there in the X-Men universe. Actually, all the mutants are living under the guidance, direction, and leadership of the Master of Magnetism. And that's not all, because besides Magneto, we'll have the entire Magneto family leading the mutants. We'll have Scarlet Witch, we'll have Quicksilver, and we'll have Polaris. The entire Magnetic Royal family will be present in Doomsday. The law is clear about the X-Men and other mutant groups. The first thing that comes to our mind is that we'll be able to play here now. Magneto, finally being Magneto, right? Because it was never like that, wow, that Magneto we see in the comics, right? He was always just a guy, an activist, a terrorist, you know? He wants mutant kind to prevail. He always has plans to make humanity perish and for mutants to take over. Yeah, he has this whole ideology, but it was never really about building an empire or anything that big. Asteroid M, Genosha. Now it looks like it's going to happen. It's all about Kevin Feige and his vision for the X-Men in 2000 when he was an assistant producer on Bryan Singer's X-Men movie, where all his ideas were rejected. All the ideas he had back then were ignored because he was the guy who went to get coffee. And it stayed in his mind, this thing, it stayed with this hurt, with this resentment of not having done the X-Men his way. And I think that's why when the X-Men come straight from the Fox acquisition, he makes a point of putting in the multiverse saga to be able to show the X-Men that could have been if he had been listened to back then. Of course, if he had been listened to back then, maybe everything would have gone wrong. Because back then, they didn't have the structure they have today. Comic book movies didn't have the respect they have today. Actors, directors, and writers didn't want to work with comics back then, and now they do. So the context is different too. But he's going to make his dream X-Men with the actors from the first movies. I think that's why the X-Men are in Doomsday and also due to the multiverse saga. So, Magneto having his mutant empire is definitely something Kevin Feige imagined, but never saw on screen. And he wants to see it. So, it's the most expensive ticket someone will pay to see something in the theater. Is it Magneto, leader of the X-Men? Including that castle that showed up. Oh, that castle, it's a Doomsday setting. Then they said, oh, it could be Xavier's mansion, but later they said it's Magneto's castle. Maybe that's the setting of Genoa, where Magneto is the leader of the mutants. I don't know if it will be the X-Men, if the X-Men are part of it, or if the X-Men are in opposition to Magneto's House of M, right? It's there. Another question. Will Elizabeth Olsen return as Scarlet Witch? We don't have confirmation of Elizabeth Olsen coming back. She herself said there hasn't been an invitation. And she could be lying, of course, but I don't think she should. And I'll explain why. Why the Scarlet Witch from the Avengers, Scarlet Witch? She's not a mutant. She has a different language. She comes from another origin. She's not a description of the comic book character. She's an adaptation of Scarlet Witch. Given the limitations then, mutants couldn't be discussed. The other one is Quicksilver by Warren Taylor Johnson, who also isn't Magneto's son, Quicksilver. And there's Quicksilver, Magneto's son, who, by the way, appears in WandaVision. Ralph Bohner. Bohner is Evan Peters, so I think it's much more likely that Evan Peters will show up as Quicksilver. In this possibility of appearing, the Magneto family, because the X-Men movie suggests that he's Magneto's son, actually Fassbender's. Now he'll appear older as the son of... Ian McKellen, the older Magneto, since it's the same timeline. And he has a little sister in the X-Men movies back in the 70s. And now it could be. Let them use this hint to show a new mutant, Scarlet Witch, sister of Quicksilver, Evan Peters' character, and actually Magneto's children, Wanda and Pietro, from the X-Men Mutants. They're not that Avengers version we saw. I think it makes perfect sense for it not to be Elizabeth Olsen in this context, trying to bring the main actors back. So, Cyclops is James Marsden, Alan Cumming is Nightcrawler, among others. Patrick Stewart is Professor Xavier. Kelsey Grammer plays Beast. There's no reason to put Aaron Taylor Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen in this group. It doesn't make sense to me. Well, it's better to bring in Evan Peters, who already had a special appearance in Marvel. They might even have a contract already reserved for that. And put a newcomer there to reflect herself in the escalation of this version of the world. X-Men, for me, that's fine. Explain yourself, explain yourself. So will this Magneto with this family that leads the mutants face Dr. Doom at some point in this universe conflict? By the way, Daniel RPK recently said the X-Men will take the first step in the conflict against Universe 66. That the incursion. The ones who are actually going to attack first are the X-Men. The X-Men are going to kind of look like the antagonists to the Avengers. It makes sense if Magneto leads, but not Professor X since he's a pacifist. Now that Magneto leads, it makes sense. It's strange to make the X-Men seem like villains in the story. I like a big misunderstanding that resolves happily in the end, typical of comic book stories. But let's see how they move forward with this story. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. What did you think? Magneto as the leader of the X-Men, of the Mutants, or of the X-Men, of the Mutants, or of everything? Comment below. I'll return soon with another Dr. Pop topic. Channel members skip commercials. Join now for our $2.99. You'll get rid of ads on Cuatro Coisas videos. Over 100 videos per month for you. No ads if you become a member now. The little button is right here next to subscribe to the video. Also, leave a like if you didn't remember at the beginning of the video. I'm reminding you now. See you later, see you soon, see you in a bit. Bye! And that was another Cuatro Coisas video. The channel has at least 3 videos every day from Monday to Sunday. If you liked it, here are more suggestions to watch. Don't forget to leave a like, a comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell for new updates. Thank you very much. See you next time.